It has been a busy summer here at Farnborough Football Club. Lots of players leaving, but many new faces coming through the door as well. We've got a week and a half until the season kicks off. So come join me and find out what's been going on before we get started in our first season in the Vanarama National League. Just a quick one before we get into the nitty gritty, guys. For everyone out there that's watching, I appreciate every single one of you who is watching. If you are watching and you enjoy this sort of content and you haven't subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I want you to join me as I continue to try and grow this channel and learn. I'm still new at this and I'm just trying to grow the channel. And I want you with me to share in this journey with me as we grow the channel. And hopefully there's some exciting stuff ahead. All right, guys, let's start with the players that have left the club. And just from the end of last season, a couple of the players that are released. There was Alfie Cutbush, Jack Turner, Mac Riley, the two central defenders that I got in emergency at the end of last season, Ty Fleming and Archie Duerden, and Daniel Grant, one of our right-wing youngsters as well. And just tick over into the current season. Sam Bailey is out. Oliver Pendlebury is out. Sam Dreyer, Kanye Jobson, Callum Moore, Jack Shaw, Adam Price, Rhodey McGlinchey, Harrison Dudziak, and Simon Jennings. Now, some of these guys are big names from last season. Harrison Dudziak, he was great for us last season. Oliver Pendlebury obviously was really great as well, but I've been talking about for a long time about letting him go because he's not a big match player, and that's no good to me. Our two central defenders who were just so good last season as well, Sam Dreyer and Kanye Jobson, just couldn't negotiate reasonable contracts for them, so I did let them go in the end. And everyone else is just kind of I had big hopes for Sam Bailey, but yeah, he didn't really live up to it, and we kind of had that falling out as well, so he had to go out the door as well. But I guess the biggest players there are Oliver Pendlebury and Harrison Dudziak, two big players in the middle of the park. They are no longer with us, so let's now look at who we've brought in. But just before we do that, we've got a couple of other players that have gone out either on loan or actually it's been a free transfer. So Jack Cartwright as well didn't really play a role with us last year, and Bansal McNulty. McNulty has gone to Ballymena United on a free. His contract was running out. It's just he went before the end of his contract, just like Jack Cartwright as well. And then we've got a couple of loanees gone out. Lewis Aspinall, young central defender. Let's see how he does at Miklova. And Charlie Pavey has been loaned out to Western-super-Mare back in the Vanarama National South League. Hopefully he can establish himself quite well and get some good experience playing in the league we were just in. And hopefully he will come back a better player at the end of the season too. Right. All right, now for the more exciting part, let's talk about some of the guys that we have brought in. I'll just go through the list in I'm going to try and go through the list in a bit of sort of an average order through to more big signings. So let's start off. Caden Voice. He is really a backup central defender for us. 18 years old. Really, really reasonable contract. Again, I got quite a few of these in last season. Cheap contracts. Fills a spot on the squad. He is 6'3", previously of Wolves youth development. He is wanted on loan already, I guess. Having at Waterlooville and Rushall. But I probably need him around. So 6'3", reasonable heading, reasonable marking, good tackling, good positioning as well. Jumping reach, really good. 17 jumping reach. He's going to be jumping above all of them. He will do really well with winning those crosses into the box. Needs to work on his strength probably, and pretty much got average pace as well. But so there's some potential there. So we will just see how he progresses. Next up, let's see. Let's go with Min QG. Now, I just couldn't help myself on this one. Min QG. He is a South Korean. He was at Wolves as well, and I got him in on trial. But yeah, I just loved his movement, and his attacking presence was really, really good. So I got him in. He didn't get work permit, unsurprisingly, but I went ahead with the transfer anyway, in hope that I could loan him out. He develop, and yeah, and hopefully maybe get some recognition, which will help him get a work permit in the future. So he's with us for 2 years. Just mention, pretty much everyone, I think, is on a 2-year contract. So I'm not going to be losing anyone just for the sake of losing anyone at the end of the season. And if anyone wants to come in for any of our players as well, they're going to have to pay for it, not just snatch them on a free at the end of their contract as well. Right, who next? Right. Zach, no, let's go for David Madupe. He is, again, another youngster. They're all pretty much youngsters. It's what we did last season. We just snapped up good potential youngsters, and we did all right from it. We won the league, and we won the FA trophy as well. So it worked for us. Another central defender. He can play out on the left, though I wouldn't rate him playing out there particularly. He's got no dribbling or crossing ability, so to speak. So yeah, he is a 6'2", central defender, good heading, good marking, a little bit lacking on the tackling there. Positioning good as well. Pace is good. Jumping reach, definitely not as good as Caden, whatever his name was. Caden Voice. But again, another one, needs to work on his strength really, but could develop into a good central defender. Right, who next? Right, that next is going to be Zach Henry. He is another striker. I kind of went for him after G, that when I couldn't get his work permit. They're a very similar kind of player. As you probably see from their thing, if I just compare them maybe, and you see, I mean, quite a similar mold of player. He is previously of Crystal Palace. He's got really good finishing there. 15, 13 first touch, 12 technique as well. He's got passing to go along with it. Reasonable at 10. Off the ball was 12. 12 flair if you want to play him in a different sort of more creative role. Though his vision is probably a little bit lacking. And good physicals as well. 13 acceleration and agility. 15 balance. 13 natural fitness as well. And then he's got 10 for pace and stamina. Good potential as a backup striker for us. He can also play it out on the right as well, with 9 dribbling and 9 crossing. He could be quite reasonable coming in from the right. Right, next we will look at, should we do Jacob Hammered Chambers Borgnis? And triple barrel surname. I mean, wow, that is a lot. And he comes in as a midfield enforcer. He is 6 foot. He is strong. He has good marking and tackling, good teamwork and positioning, decisions, concentration, composure, anticipation, all, reasonable levels. And his strength and his strength is quite good too. I'm not sure exactly what role I'm going to be playing him in, or whether he's going to be playing more if we're up against tougher opposition. Maybe he will just be come in as a pairing in the middle of the park as a midfield enforcer, ball-winning midfielder, or whatever. But he can even play all the way back to central defence as well. So quite versatile midfield, defensive midfield, and centre back as well, which he could probably fill in quite well there, I think. Not really got the, even his pace is quite reasonable, probably better than others as well. So that is Jacob Hammond Chambers Borgnis. Right. Next up, let's have a look at the goalkeeper that I got in, Cameron Gregory. Now, he's not a youngster. He's 25 years old. and he is just a bit of an upgrade. I would have liked to stick with Alfie Roberts. He did so well for us last year, and obviously he's still developing. But I mean, we are stepping up leagues. He might have made it, but we needed another goalkeeper. So I brought Cameron Gregory in, and if we just compare the two, I guess. I mean, I think that yes, they're quite similar, but Cameron Gregory does snatch it. He's got better communication, command of area. He's better at shot stopping, so reflexes and whatnot, and his distribution's better as well. So hopefully, we will be better on the counter attack. Should we need to be against, against anyone, but especially against maybe a bigger team, a more difficult team that we're having to defend more against. That will come in handy. Alfie Roberts, I kind of relegated to being our cup keeper, which he wasn't too happy about. So we're going to see how that plays out. We might end up losing him and have to get another keeper in. I don't know. Right, next we have Sebastian Williams coming in for midfield. He can play in attacking midfield as well. But he's good on the ball, good dribbling, reasonable first touch, 12 passing, 13 technique, 16 determination in there. So hopefully we can see him develop quite well. But yeah, some good mentals in here. 12 composure, 14 decisions, 14 flair, 11 off the ball, 12 teamwork. Vision is a little bit low. But he's got some reasonable physicals as well, with 13 agility and acceleration, and 13 natural fitness, and 14 pace as well. And he's 6 foot, so he's going to have a reasonable presence in aerial duels as well. So yeah, he's going to be a central midfield mainstay for us as well. Okay, and next up we have another central defender. We have David Okagbu. He is he's Irish. He's played at lots of different places. But yeah, he kind of is a Stoke player. Was he always a Stoke player? Let's just have a look. Yeah, he was a Stoke player. St Kevin's to Stoke, and then he's had a few loan spells as well. But finally, he was released. He is 6'2", and I think he just had reasonable all rounds. Only 10 heading, 10 marking, 10 tackling. I mean, we're in the Farnborough National League. I think that they're pretty reasonable stats, to be fair. 12 bravery, 11 positioning, and then he's got 13 strength and 12 jumping reach as well. So I think he can hold his own in this league. He's only 21, so he's got a bit more developing to go, hopefully. So yeah, that is David Okagbu. Right, now I think I've just got 2 more to go from the players that we have in already. Next up is going to be Dylan Morgan. Now, I am really excited by Dylan Morgan. He's really impressed me in pre-season. He is a sort of attacking midfielder, but I saw him excel on that left wing, coming inside as an inside forward. He's got a sweet right foot, and he has 13 long shots, 9 finishing, 10 first touch, 11 dribbling, 12 technique, 8 passing. I mean, they're all kind of reasonable, but his long shots is the one that stuck out, and he put in some beautiful curling shots from the edge of the area, cutting in from the left, and then he'd hit a sweet curling shot into the far corner of the goal, and yeah, sold it for me. Absolutely sold it. Right. And what else has he got? He's got 15 flair, 12 off the ball, and he's got some reasonable physicals as well there. Acceleration 12, pace 12. So yeah, I am 15 determination there as well. So that's pretty good. So yeah, he's 22 as well. Only 5'9", but he was previously at Yeovil, who we beat in the final. So yeah, that's I'm happy with him, and I think he's going to be a really good player for us this year. Right, and then lastly, for the players that we already have in, that is, is really the pinnacle, and that is Daniel Oyatunde. Oyatunde? Daniel Oyatunde, 18 years old, previously of Arsenal. Um, yeah, and I mean, his finishing first touch stats aren't like stand out. So 11 finishing here, 12 first touch. But his mentals are really good. 15 aggression, 11 anticipation, 14 bravery. Composure, concentration, and decisions are 9, 9, and 8, respectively. 9 off the ball, 14 teamwork, 13 work rate, and his physicals as well. Look at this, 11 pace. I mean, his pace isn't out this world, acceleration anyway. 16 agility, 16 balance, natural fitness 17, 10 jumping reach, which is reasonable. He can be a presence in the air, though he's only 5'9". And then pace 15, stamina 11, strength 8. So could do with working on his strength a little bit, but yes, some really good physical and mental attributes to work off of. There are some attributes that are a little bit poor, like passing is only 5, positioning is only 4. But if we play him in the right way, I feel like he can be a real asset for us this year. So that is Daniel Oyatunde, who is currently injured. He got injured, so he's out for a couple of weeks yet, but he will be back shortly into the opening of the season. So yeah, that is all the players that we brought in, all on frees, mostly all youngs. There's a couple of players there in their 20s already, but there's quite a few 18-year-olds as well. So it's going to be a developing squad, all tied down to 2-year contracts. So yeah, we're not going to lose half this squad just because they've run out their contract and they want silly money at the end of it. So yeah, now let's look at some targets that we're still waiting to hear. Okay, and first up we have Taylor Foran. Excited to get him that deal through the door if it does go. He's going to be probably our number 1 sort of central defender. He is 21 years old, was at Hartlepool and Arsenal previously. Is that someone else bidding on him as well? Kings Lynn are after him as well, which I've already lost a player to Kings Lynn, which is annoying because they're in the Vanarama National North League, so they're league below us, and we had a player choosing to go to them. We're still finding it difficult as the club we are at. We won the league, we won the FA trophy. Our reputation did go up, but it's still just 1-star reputation. And I think, as well as that, still being a semi-pro team, having such bad facilities as well, it's just not brilliant. Our training ground is in the process of being upgraded, so I only expect that to go up to 1.5 star. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get this one through the door, because he's going to be our number 1 central defender for the year. 6'4", heading 13, marking 10, tackling 12. He has 13 strength, 14 jumping reach, and then he's got some reasonable mentals in there as well. Aggression 12, anticipation 11, bravery 11, composure 9, concentration 11, decisions 10, positioning 11 as well. And I think he will be our number 1 central defender if he comes in, and he will be he'll be our defensive leader for the season ahead. Okay, next we have Bless Colbier, and I have delayed the decision on Bless Colbier a couple of times. Namely, I already have now 2 central midfielders in who are either a regular starter or an important player, and I could only get Bless in as a either a regular starter or another important player. And my plan is to go ahead with the season ahead with the formation that we were so successful with last year, the 4-2-2. It won us the league, it won us the FA trophy. why not stick with it and see how we do in the Vanarama National League? It is a step up, but it's not that drastically different from the league we're in that it wouldn't work. So the plan is to go into league, stick with what we know and what worked for us, and try and play to our strengths. So yeah, we will only have 2 in the middle of the park. And if we got 3 central midfielders, all on either important or regular starter contracts, it's going to be a juggling act for the whole entire season, trying to keep them all happy. So I wasn't 100% sold. I was trying to look at other central midfielders I can get in that were good, but didn't want to come in as, you know, a regular starter or a important player. So I didn't find anyone not worth bringing in. And Bless, I mean, he probably, I didn't want him in on that agreed playing time either. He didn't warrant it in my personal opinion, but I couldn't get him in any other way. But anyway, let's have a look at him anyway. He's 6 foot, so he's got a presence there. First touch 13, passing 10. He's got some marking and tackling ability as well. 7 and 9. And then his physicals are reasonable as well. He's got a good bit of pace on him. Acceleration 14, pace 14, and then agility and balance 12, jumping reach 11, natural fitness 12. Yeah, and stamina and strength are reasonable as well at 10 and 9. And then his mentals, he's got 15 aggression. Could lead him to being a bit of a naughty boy in midfield, but we'll see, I guess. Decisions 13, off the ball 11, and work rate and 12, and teamwork 11 as well, which are ideal for the middle of the park as well. So yeah, I've still got to make the final decision there. Do we bring him in? Do we not? I mean, his contract's not small either. But I'll talk about finances in a minute. All right. Cavan Cassell, one of our players, Sully Hallmall's wanting him, and I was happy for him to go, really. He does have some potential, but he didn't want to go to them. He wants to stick around, so that is what he's going to do. Right, next up we have Preston Fearon. And I just thought, you know what? I did actually find someone else. I did find someone else. That's right, I did. God, you know, it's been a couple of days since I was on, so wow. Preston Fearon. Yeah, he's a different mold of central midfielder. He can play also in defensive midfield and attacking midfield, but he is more of a natural in just central midfield. You know, pretty good stats for that position. Dribbling 12, first touch 10, passing 11, technique 15. Teamwork 13, vision 12, off the ball 12, flair 12. Is more of a creative midfielder, whereas I feel that Bless was more of a workhorse midfielder. So probably better being a box-to-box midfield engine kind of player. Anyway, so Preston Fearon, I might end up bringing both of them in because, I mean, that will be essentially 2 players for the 2 individual midfield positions. So yeah, 2 players covering each position. Right, he is 5'11". He's previously of Chelsea and West Ham. So yeah, another young player poached from the Premier League sort of youth academies, but really good potential. So yeah, we're just waiting to hear about him too. Elsewhere, we have Mehmet Halim. Now, he wasn't a standout player for me, but he was just a player I had interest in. He interested me with the sort of player he was and the sort of player I feel like he might be able to develop into. A little bit different to anything else we've got. He wouldn't be destined for our team or really being a squad player. This would be with the idea of loaning him out straight away, just like a few of our other players as well, and see how he develops really. Pretty just outright average at the moment. He is Turkish, 18 years old, previously of West Ham. Yeah, and he's just, I don't know, he just interested me a little bit to see how he was going to develop. Only sort of, it's got 11 dribbling, 9 finishing, 10 first touch, 15 aggression, 14 bravery, decisions 11, flair 12, teamwork 13, work rate 13, some reasonable physicals as well. Agility 12, balance 13, pace 11, stamina 12. You know, I didn't want to just pass him by. He wasn't going to be someone I saw getting into the first team, but we'll see if we can get him in, loan him out, and see how he develops. So yeah, and then Min QG has already got some suitors lined up for him going out on loan, all Portuguese. Salgueiros, Vieira Mar, Fafe, Atletico, CP. None of them willing to pay his wages, but he's only on, he's on 35 a week, so I just have to swallow that. I know, board, and supporters won't be happy, like with the finances of the loan and all that, but it's none of their business. It's my job. I'm doing it my way, and they can all stuff it, to be honest. Right, so let's talk about finances. Let's just bring up the squad. Things are a little bit different this year. We had quite a few players last year that were in 500, nearly 600 wages. And this year it is a little bit different. We have our one standout star player on a high contract, Daniel Oyetunde, 675. It took a lot of our finances to get this deal over the line, but he signed, we got him, and I hope he's going to be brilliant for us this season, because he's expensive. But you know, we did step up a league, so we've got to expect to be paying a little bit more. But overall, down the squad, wages have actually gone down a little bit. We've only got 2 more players over 500, and that's Elijah Morgan, who you all know, our left back. You know, still only 19, going to carry on developing. You know, and hopefully people should start developing pretty well with our improved training facilities as well, and the step up in opposition as well will help. Also, I will get to it in a second, but we managed to get 1 extra coach as well, so I will take you there in a minute and introduce you to our new coach. We also have Oliver Iro. He's on 525. I think I actually got Oliver Iro in on another contract less than he was getting before. I haven't renewed Elijah Morgan's contract. I don't really want to yet, because I'm pretty sure he will want more. Ewan Pollock has then got a year left. He's on his 425, and then we go below 400 on the contracts as well. So we got some really good players that I think are going to be great going ahead on 2-year contracts, all in that sort of 300 to 400 bracket. So Cameron Gregory, David Okagbu, Jacob Hamid, Chambers Borglis, and Tom Olliott, who was one of our just awesome players from last year, along with Oliver Iro as well, and then Sebastian Williams as well. And then after that, we just dropped down even more. We've only got 1 more player in the 200 bracket, and then they're all below 200. And then we've got, you know, even more guys on cheap contracts as well. So what does that mean for us financially? Well, compared to last year, our wage structure went from 7,000 something up to 10,000 something. I did have them wrote down somewhere, but yeah. So it did go up nicely. We've got a few more players to hopefully get over the line and through the door. But currently we are only spending 6,800. And I think with the other players that should come through the door, we're only going to be pushing on about 7,000. So it's not. It's only going to be around our sort of wage structure for last year, and I don't think we really need anyone else. So we're going to be saving a lot of money on wages, which I think is good for our sort of club finances, because even though it's the club that have given us more wages and we made money on a cup run, if we don't get a good cup run this year and we're paying those kind of wages, I think we'll see our money just empty. And yeah, I don't think that'll be good, because we should be seeing a few more supporters through the gates this year, so we get a bit more match day income, but it's not going to be sort of, you know, transformative amounts. We're not going to suddenly just see our balance skyrocket because twice as many people come through the door. No, we might break the 1,000 attendance mark, hopefully. So yeah, I want to keep trying to be sensible, keep that wage structure as low as I can, because if we're really going to make progress, this is the first place we need to make progress, the bank balance, because we need to invest in the club. We need to invest in our facilities. We've got just the worst facilities, you know. Not where are we? Don't even need to go there, do I? Training facilities only half a star, so I was even wrong. I said 1.5 stars. We're only going to be going up to a star, 1-star training facilities, and we're still stuck at 1-star reputation and 1-star youth facilities, and only 2.5 silver stars for our youth recruitment as well. So all in all, our facilities are terrible, and that's where we need to develop. If we're going to develop as a club, going up the leagues, we're going to need to, we're going to need the club to grow as a whole, and that requires money. So I've got to keep it sensible and try and grow that bank balance as we grow as a club, as we grow our facilities and grow up the leagues as well. So yeah, so we're gonna carry on, see if any more of these players come through the door. And what have we got on the schedule? We have a couple of friendlies left. So you'll see what happened there. Just a recap on what else happened. I did kind of go for the money spinning friendlies again. Not that I think it's actually made a real difference. I just don't see it really affecting the bank balance. But anyway, on paper, the results are absolutely amazing. But we had so many really good trialists in that we just couldn't get through the door because they wanted too much money, or they just ended up going to a bigger club or whatever. But saying that, if you look at the names on the score sheet, a lot of these players are our players. So, you know, that's good. Here, Tim Wingate, he's gone somewhere else. Is there anyone else? Justin Devaney. Tom Wingate was someone I've kind of compared to G, and I forget the other guy's name already. But the other one, that's a young striker on the right-hand side as well. In that kind of mould, yeah. But he went to Bath City, so, you know, good luck to him. And then there's someone like Justin Devaney. I was really interested in him, really wanted to get him in. A really great all-round midfield player. He went somewhere else too. He went to Crawley, who were in the same league at least. They didn't go to someone in the league below, because that's just kick in the teeth when you're offering them quite a good contract and they choose to go somewhere lower down for less money. It's like, really? You might as well just, you know, slap me in the face. But yeah, apart from those two outliers, everyone else is one of our players. So let's look at some of these results. 4-1 against Boston United, 7-1 against Welling. I've thrown some sort of more R-level games in between as well. Cambridge 3-0, Bradford City 6-3, Cardiff 2-1, Derby 5-0. And now we've got Sunderland and St Albans left. So, I mean, on paper, we should be getting stuffed by Sunderland, just like we should have got stuffed by Derby, Cardiff, Bradford City, Cambridge, even Boston United. I mean, where are they? No, they're league below. Welling are league below. But then, you know, we stepped up. Cambridge
League 2, Cardiff, Championship, Bradford City, League 2, Derby, Championship. I mean, we stuffed a Championship side 5-0. Shouldn't happen, and I can only assume they were playing sort of their second string players, and they didn't show up on the day, because that's a ridiculous scoreline, to be fair. Right, so we'll see what happens with Sunderland and St Albans, and see if any other players come through the door before we get to the opening game of the season. All right, guys, back for a quick update. We are now able to confirm the signing of Preston Fearon, the creative central midfielder who can also play in attacking midfield as well as defensive midfield as well. And he is in for a small contract, again, £50 a week. So he's going to be, I think, a fantastic signing for the price. I am once again going to delay the signing of Bless a Colbert. Yeah, because I just want to see if I can get someone in that's not going to be coming in as a regular starter. Can be more of a squad player, lower wages, keep that price down, but perhaps could do just as good a job as Bless would be doing in the we'll see. I mean, Fearon is a good player, and they're different players. But if you put them side by side, there's a lot that Fearon can do that that a Colbert cannot do. Again, like I said, very different players. One's got more of a defensive ability. One's got more of an attacking ability. One's got more physical attributes than the other. So yeah, they're very different players, but I've already got that midfield enforcer in the squad. So really, I just need kind of numbers, and obviously, Bless is gonna want to come in as a regular starter, and that really, unless I'm forced into it, it's not really what I want. So I'm going to see if I can find anyone else that can be an appropriate alternative, and yeah, if I find anyone, I'll come back to you. All right, guys, it is the day before the season opener against Altrincham, and quickly go through the last players that have come through the doors here before the season gets underway. Riley Hagen, another player we had on loan, is going to be more cover in central midfield. He's a good all-round player, good potential as well. Lots of good potential players. But yeah, he's very much going to be a squad player for that position. With like 10 passing, 14 technique, 12 vision, 12 teamwork, 12 off the ball, 15 determination. Yeah, he's worth that £50 a week wages. Mehmet Halim, he's a player that I spoke about. Just interested to see how he can develop. He is in now, and he's been trying to ship him out on loan straight away. So we'll see how that goes. Taylor Foran, our number one sort of central defender, is in as well, on a big sort of contract. So we've got another one on a big contract, £575 a week. But he is really going to be our, hopefully, he's going to be our number one central defender through the season. And then I've also brought in Taylor Foran. No, not Taylor Foran. I mean, Evan Anderson is another goalkeeper, young goalkeeper, with bags of potential. And yeah, I just want to get another couple of goalkeepers in, try and develop them, see how they go. We'll be getting them out on loan if we can, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. And Min Ki Ji, he has, or is going out on loan to Beira-Mar in Portugal. So yeah, I'm going to have lots of players trying to ship them out on loan so they can develop over the next season, and with their 2 years contract, they can come back, see how they've done, and then we can make a decision on what we're going to do with them. But yeah, day before the season opener, I think we've got a very strong squad. And if we just have a quick look at the season preview, the media has us predicted in 14th, so kind of mid-table mediocrity, but I'd like to think we can surprise those odds and probably be pushing for somewhere around the playoff places. That's my hope, but we'll have to see how that goes. So that's it for the transfer special. next episode is the season opener. So I will see you then. As usual, if you like today's content, leave us a like, comment if you've got anything to comment in the comments below. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it. I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, and I will see you again in the next one. See ya.